hot last night. Was anyone really struggling to sleep last night? It was so hot. Welcome to episode 6 of Going Live Anyway. My name's Cordelia Kate, and I was really hot last night. It was boiling, very, very hot in the bedroom. We were in an attic room, and with the baby, the baby was struggling. I'm telling you, Arlo was really, really struggling as well. So I'm just actually whilst I go and mute this and then share it into the Rebellious Business Network, which is what I'm trying to do. But if you're here with me live, or if you're on the replay, can you just drop a comment in the chat to let me know that you're here? Oh, bloody hell. Why doesn't it just sit at the top of the business page? It would make it so much easier. I'm like searching for it everywhere. Right, got it. Share to group. God, this is so boring, isn't it? I'm having to share it into the group. Never mind, it's done now. It's got to be in the group. We've got an amazing network of rebellious souls, the Rebellious Business Network. If you're not in there, you need to come and join us. Only though, if you feel like you've got a bit of a rebellious streak. If you don't come in. We only want rebellious people in there. But yeah, it's great to have a group it's actually turned out to be a psychographic niche network, like a psychographic network niche. What does that mean? Psychographic. It means that we attract people based on how they view themselves, on their psychology, right? And we attract people based on that, rather than it being for women who are the age between 45 and 55, or for people that are in a certain industry. Like, we've got people in all industries in business, which is great fun, but they identify as being a bit of a rebel, right? How fun is that? So imagine what a cooler network that is. We've got some right characters in there, let me tell you. We really, really do. I wonder if I've got my actual notes in front of me for today. I do. Is these the ones? Yeah. So firstly, thank you. Thank you, everybody who sent me messages yesterday and commented on that live that I did. It was deeply personal. And I'm sure some people would say it was probably too personal for a business live, but you know what? I think there is one of my old mentors says you need to share your shit. Like, don't just show up and try and be polished all the time. He said, share your shit, because people need to hear it, because everybody's going through it too. And the amount of messages I've had from people that have been struggling with this, shout out to John Whitwell. Oh my God, your message had tears in my eyes this morning. Your comment. It's on, I think it might be on my personal profile on Facebook. But he just shared his experience of his son and what he's been going through there. And yeah, like, it's tough. Life's tough, man. And I think, a bit of, as a friend that messaged me yesterday, a bit of camaraderie, a bit of showing up for each other it goes a long way. And I really appreciate all of you guys that have left me comments and sent me messages. But also just wanted to shout out everyone that's going through this as well. It's a new day. It's a new morning. We've had a great conversation last night. I'm going to put yesterday behind me and move into today with some new energy. But I just wanted to stop and just say thank you to everybody for that. And if you haven't seen it and you don't know what I'm on about, it's episode 5. I am getting all these out on the podcast as well. So if you want to follow along on this journey, I haven't got anything better to do. If you want to follow along on this journey, then you'll find the episodes on the podcast. And also I have been putting them on my YouTube channel. So if you search YouTube for Cordelia Kate, you'll find the first one on there. Oh my God, I've got so much video content that and just like not enough time to publish it. Like, it's mad. It's one of the beauties of going live. You end up having so much content that you can repurpose, and that's really, really helpful. But when you haven't got much time, it can be a bit tough. Oh, Sarah is here. Morning. Rebel is in the name. Exactly. Psychographic niche. And Jenny, how did the vaping conversation go yesterday? I don't envy you, and I dread my kids getting to that point. Well, Yeah, I know. I want them to say small forever as well. It's heartbreaking. But I had tears streaming down my face in my morning meditation this morning, because it's just, it's like surrendering to just trusting that they're going to be okay, and they're just growing up, and they just got to learn their own lessons, and you got to release them into the world, into the wild. She's fine. She's going to be okay. Like, I'm not worried. The conversation went well. Seeing as you asked, I will let you know. I held space for her. She came home, and yeah, I asked her how she was feeling, if she was okay. And she had an awful day at school. She was really, really angry and upset all day. I asked her if she needed any nicotine gum and if she was having cravings, which she wasn't, which was good. We talked about stopping, and we just had a really good open conversation. I came away from that just feeling like we've got such a great relationship, and that she was going to be okay. So it went well. It went well. I did not scream and shout and lose my shit. It went well. So yeah, that has been good. But thanks for asking, Jenny. I appreciate it. Okay, my phone's died, which means I don't have any notes, which is fine. I don't need them. Today's question is from the wonderful and amazing member in the Rebellious Business Network, who I haven't met before, but I hope I get the opportunity to meet you at some point soon. How do I present the same message in different ways? How do I present the same message in different ways? And I think this is one that a lot of us struggle with, actually, when it comes to creating content for our business, because we can quite easily pigeonhole ourselves. There's this pigeonhole trap, right? And it's that this is my niche, and therefore this is what I need to talk about. And so, for instance, take us, right? You could quite easily say, well, you're in networking. That's our thing. We're in networking. We have a network and we run networking events. I mean, there's actually a lot more to it than networking, but let's just say that was our product and that was the main thing that we did. Now, I'll be honest with you, the idea of talking about how to network on a daily basis fills me with dread. Because it's so boring. It will get so boring. Like, there's only so many times I can talk about how to network effectively before I'm going to be clawing at my own eyes. And so, that this is why that pigeonhole trap is a bit soul destroying, because if you pigeonhole yourself into only talking about your niche, then what that means is you're really limiting yourself on what you're saying and what you're getting enthusiastic. There's so many times you can get enthusiastic about one thing. You might be like, no, hang on a minute. I love my niche. That's why I'm in this business. I can talk about it until the cows come home. I challenge you. Let's have this conversation in 3 years' time. You pigeonhole yourself into only talking about your niche. Man, you can be so bored. You can be so bored. So the question then, how do I present the same message in different ways? I mean, I love this question because it does mean that you are thinking along the right lines, which is that I need to have consistency in my messaging and I need to show up and talk about the same thing a lot. But then there's also this, like, how am I going to do that without getting really bored, without boring everyone? And also, how could I do this in different ways? And what are the angles that I can look at? And so, taking the networking example, if we only spoke about networking, how do you network effectively? Like, it would get really boring, and you pigeonhole yourself into just being very limited in what you can talk about. So we want to basically zoom out and create some different kind of perspectives on networking, right? If you think about what networking is, like, networking is just a tool. So we dig a bit deeper. What does networking give you? Well, it gives you the opportunity to create new connections. For us, that's what we're passionate about: connecting with each other, connecting people together, supporting you to create a network around yourself. That is powerful. But then, like, you zoom out of that even further and you think, okay, well, what does that give you? Like, what does it give you by having your own network? What does it give you? Well, it gives you connections with people that could, I don't know, give you opportunities, maybe being interviewed on people's podcasts, speaking on stages. It gives you friends that you can bounce ideas off, and gives you the opportunity to pitch or position products or position ideas, or promote lead magnets, right? And so when you come kind of out, you just got to like zoom out a bit and you realize there's a whole network of things that's connected to your niche. You know, it's not just one thing, it's a multi-dimensional, multifaceted ecosystem of things, right? And so that's the first thing I would say is like zoom out a bit. And I have this concept in my mind that I use for this, which is bridging. So you can literally talk about anything you want. Well, you can anyway, but if you want to make it relevant, and that's what I'm hearing here, and this is the beauty of having that consistent message. It's like everything is relevant to the main anchor. Yeah. So if networking would be our anchor in this example, right? So if you know what your anchor is, all you need to do is basically bridge every conversation, every concept, and every idea back to that anchor. And so you can kind of play a game with this and be like, oh, how could I bridge sweeping the garden back to networking? And I've got so good at this that instantly I come up with something, right? I just come up with something. In fact, I challenge you guys watching, like drop me a thing in the comments right now and let's see if I can bridge it back to networking, right? Let's see. So sweeping the garden. I am running my network on this sunny week from the garden. And in order to get into the best space for delivering a high energetic networking event, I love to sweep the garden. There we go. So you just got to find something that is relevant to the anchor. And then what that does is you always talking about the same thing, because I'm then going to talk about getting it into the energetic space ready for me to talk about network, to deliver a great networking event. And then, you know, off the back of that, go into talking about what's going to happen at the networking event and why it's so flipping amazing. You know, my topic was sweeping the garden, but I used it to talk about the network. And so there's an example of how you can talk about the same thing, but in a different perspective. Good morning, Permjeet. Let's see, Marion's here. Good morning, Permjeet. Good morning, Marion. Morning. Good to have you guys with me. Really, really good. So morning and social events. Cordelia Kate, morning and social events. Is that something you want me to bridge to networking, Permjeet? Or I don't know. Well, I've just set everyone a challenge to give me something and I'll bridge it back to networking. The challenge is for me. The challenge for you is to come up with something interesting. But yeah, so anyway, you could talk about your morning coffee. You could talk about something that pissed you off on Instagram. You could talk about a client win. You could talk about Taylor bloody Swift lyric if you want, right? As long as you can tie it back. Now, look, here's the reality. You talk about whatever you want. Like there is no actual rules. But if we're talking about making your content relevant to what it is that you sell all the time, then you want to bridge it back. And the benefit of that is that people will know what they're getting from you. It will make sense. So you're going to use these interesting concepts to talk about, but you're going to bridge it back into your niche so that there is never any real confusion as to what it is that you do. It's like, that's quite important. And actually, you know, I did that yesterday. Yesterday, I came online and I talked about a personal issue that I was having. But I also quite subtly bridged it back to my business. How? Because I said, I'm going live anyway. And I basically, you know, talked about how for the purpose of improving my skill set and my leadership skills and all the things, you know, I'm doing this series called Going Live Anyway. And so the bridge was that I had a shit morning, but I'm going live anyway. And that was my bridge. Yeah. So I made it relevant. I wasn't just going online to talk about some personal shit with no relevancy to my business. If I wasn't doing the Going Live Anyway series, I wouldn't have probably come online to talk about that unless I felt it was important for the business, right? So if there isn't a bridge, it can feel really irrelevant. And that personally is why I don't really put much of my personal life on social media, and you don't need to either. But you can, if you want to deliver a message that you think is going to be supportive for people, that's going to be helpful for people, that's going to inspire people or encourage people or educate people in a certain thing, then go for it. And go for it. Yeah, bridging is great. Marion loves bridging. I love it too. Marion, give me something to bridge back to networking. Let's have some fun. Okay, social events. Permjeet, that is, I mean, networking is a social event. So that is the easiest one. the easiest one. But what we could talk about actually, that's just sprung to mind, is how networking doesn't just happen at networking events. That if you're going to go play tennis this week, or if you're going to go play golf, or if you're going to a wedding, you are constantly networking wherever you are at social events as well. And how those events can be really, really great places for you to meet fantastic connections that are going to possibly unlock opportunities in your business indirectly. Because what you want to be doing when you are in the habit of networking is you want to be adding relevant people into your network. That's the whole point. So yeah, there we go. There's the bridge. Okay, Marion, bloody hell. Marion's got a good one for me. Searching for dinosaur fossils. Searching for dinosaur fossils. Okay. If I think about that in the context of my life, that would be with my son, Marnie, would be out searching for dinosaur fossils. We've recently discovered geocaching as well. Has anybody heard of that before? Oh my God, there's like real life treasure maps in the world. So exciting. So that's what this reminds me of. Yeah, searching for dinosaur fossils. Easy. Is it? Let me have a think. I was really confident then and then I lost it. Could talk about someone that I met whilst I was searching for dinosaur fossils. The thing is, I've never done this, so I'm in a hypothetical imaginary world here. But if I had, I could have met someone really cool. I could have done it with some friends. Yeah, we could have gone out as a group and I could have discovered something about one of these friends that I didn't know. And because we went searching for dinosaur fossils together, I now know this about this person. And it turns out they've got the answer to something that I really needed, and we're going to collaborate on a project together, right? I think, by the way, I might talk about it in this way, which I've just had a ping from saying that, is that you really want to share what you're interested in and who you are when you're going networking. And that is at networking events, but also at social events or wherever you are showing up to meet and mingle with other people. If you're passionate about searching for dinosaur fossils, then be open about that and include that in your conversations, because you are going to demonstrate that you have a personality, and you're going to show people that your personality is multifaceted, and you're going to give people insight into the kind of things you're interested in. And that, my friend, is going to attract people to you who have similar interests. Okay, funeral. Jesus, Panji. Christ, that's a bit depressing. Do you know what? My instinct says, my nan's probably going to watch this, and it's her sister's funeral tomorrow, so I'm not going to talk about funerals. But it was a good one. Bit of a depressing one. I could have said broccoli or like chopsticks. But yeah, big love to my nan if you are watching this, because I know you often sat there scrolling Facebook watching stuff. I love you very much. And yeah, right. Okay, so bridging. It's a lot of fun, right? And you can have some fun with it. You can play some games with it, etc. But another thing, that you can also think about is what are the concepts underneath? So for underneath networking, we've got connection, we've got getting clients, we've got building an audience, we've got social media, how to handle social media and networking. There's loads of different things that we could talk about. So maybe, spending some time to think, what are the core elements that are underneath my anchor that I can also bridge back to? And that's what we call content pillars, right? And content pillars, one of your content pillars could be about lifestyle, for instance. If it still bridges back to your main thing. So, me and Caroline, one of our content pillars is definitely lifestyle related. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. She's just recreated the content pillars and they are fantastic. Maybe I should have got them for this. I might be able to get them. They're probably just in the drive, just like sat there waiting to be pulled out. But yeah, content pillars are a really good way, because instead of pigeonholing yourself into one thing, you chunk that one thing down into 5 things, or 3 things, or into a number of things. And that makes it easier for you to think, okay, well, I could create something about this and talk about my message in this way. I could talk about my message in that way. I could talk about my message in this way. Does that make sense? I'm searching drive in the drive. I'm so bad at multitasking. What am I looking for? Content pillars. God's sake, Cordelia. I've started taking, by the way, I don't know if any of you, found them. I don't know if any of you guys take this. Let me know. I've started taking, I really need it. Lion's mane mushrooms. I've started taking lion's mane mushroom capsules. I'm on like day 4 of them. I'm hoping they're going to help me get some cognition back, because this baby brain fog is interesting. So our content pillars, pillar 1 is the value of leading your own network or community, because that's what we teach, right? We teach people how to build and run their own networks, how to create your own community is a form of lead generation and prospecting. It's incredibly powerful, and that's kind of the ultimate signature strategy of ours that we teach. So that's one of our pillars. Turning your community into clients is another pillar, right? So, obviously you're going out networking. How do you turn those connections or that community around yourself into clients? Live connection as the ultimate lead magnet. So do you see how these are kind of all the same thing, but they've got different angles? Well, this one is like live connection, so getting out and connecting with people as a lead magnet. So we talk about lead generation here, and the other one we're talking about converting into clients. The other one we're talking about actually running your own network. They're all kind of the same thing, but they're different pieces of that puzzle. We're zooming out and we're then selecting a section of that to talk about as one part of it. Creating a platform for impact and visibility, exactly the same thing. It's actually a benefit of having your own network, is that you're going to have this platform that you can like a platform that you can create an impact with, because you've got a show, or you've got a live event, or you've got a social media account that's got people gathered listening to your message. And so what that does is it paves its way to other opportunities, and there is a lot of stuff that we can talk about there. And then a business you love to run. See, this is the lifestyle thing, right? This is where we go, okay, well, do you know what? I love this business and it brings me so much joy. And I love that it gives me the ability to spend my Friday afternoons searching for dinosaur fossils. So yeah, anyway, there's just, give yourself different pillars that you can bridge to as well, right? So as you've got your anchor, you can bridge to that. But if you can break your anchor down into content pillars, and you can break it down into chunks, and you go, what are they? What are this like? Imagine it's a pentagon. Like, what are the sides of it? What are those different sides? And the beauty these days is that you can brainstorm with ChatGPT and like really kind of try and tease these out and follow the train that it's giving you. And it's a lot easier to do it than it was 10 years ago, when it was just you and your pen and your bit of paper and your imagination, and you were back and forth trying to figure things out. Use ChatGPT and use it to go on those hunts for different concepts and ideas and things that you could talk about. But yeah, so core concept or main kind of niche topic, chunk that down into your content pillars, and then bridging. Just anything you want to talk about, just figure out what's the bridge back, because what that does is it creates congruency, it creates relevancy, it also keeps things interesting, it keeps your audience interested in what you're saying, right? Because you are talking about things in lots of different ways, but you have relevancy, and on top of that, you have consistency and congruency, and people are going to know what it is that you do. You're not going to confuse them, because with that bridge that always comes back to the core, it's going to be really, really simple. But yeah, there we go. Anything else I wanted to say? No, I don't think so. I think that's it. I think that's a wrap. I did want to answer one question. I was going to do it at the beginning, so we didn't have to listen to the whole episode to find the answer. So I'll tag him in it. I don't know how. I'll see if I can afterwards. I know we're friends. I had a question from Rosh yesterday about this setup. And I thought, just in case anybody's interested, I will explain to you what this setup is in terms of the camera, the audio, etc. So I am on a MacBook. It's the MacBook with the M3 chip, and it does have a great camera. So I'm actually just using my MacBook camera right now. It's not a posh camera at all. It's just the built-in camera to the MacBook. But on my previous MacBook, which didn't have the best camera, I would use my phone because your phone links up to a MacBook really nicely for becoming a webcam, right? I used to have like a DSLR that I'd sit on the desk and it was really faffy, and I'd managed to hook that up as a webcam. It's really, really hard work. But then I discovered that, you know, you could just get a magnet that you stick to the back of the computer, and then you basically stick your phone onto that, and then you can use your phone as an external camera. And the iPhone camera is amazing. It's really, really good. But yeah, so right now I'm just using the built-in MacBook camera. If I was using my other MacBook, I would definitely be using this. But also Amos, when Amos gets an idea between his teeth, he's just started his YouTube channel, and he is doing this YouTube channel about his fitness journey. He wants to become a personal trainer, right? But at the moment, he feels like he is. You need to share it. I need to share what you're. I'll put his channel on the Rebellious Business Network for you. But yeah, he's on a fitness journey, and he is going from overweight and unfit to becoming a personal trainer. That's the journey he's documenting on YouTube, which is really courageous of him, and he's doing really well. But look, he is like, he's so smart, this guy. When he gets an idea between his teeth, he goes into deep research mode, like seriously. And when he wanted to launch this YouTube channel, what he did was he researched every bit of camera kit he might possibly need, microphones, all of it. And it was brilliant because I was like, oh my God, like I just don't have the patience to do this in-depth research and look at all these videos and all the things. And he found this microphone, and it's really, really cool. I mean, the audio is great on it, and it's this here. It's got, hey, Sam Price, grub to God. What does that mean? Sorry, Sam has just dropped this comment in the chat. Grub to God. Grub to God? Oh, maybe it's not updated. It did tell me that I had to reduce my characters on LinkedIn on the title, and I just basically rebelled against it and was like, no, I'm not doing it. So you might have the wrong title on LinkedIn, because I can see you're watching from LinkedIn. But yeah, so anyway, no, we're not talking about God, I promise. So look, it's this. I don't know if I've got double reverb now because I've taken a second one out. Probably not. It's probably fine. And this, and you get different stickers you can stick to the front of it. And it's from AliExpress. I think you can get it on Amazon as well. That's Maono, Maono, and Wave T5, Maono Wave T5. There's two in here. So when Caroline came the other day, I just popped the other one on her whilst we were live streaming. And it's wireless, so it's just got one thing put in the computer, but you can also plug it in the phone. I'm not going to unplug it. You'll be able to hear me if I do that, but it's there. And it was about 60, 70 quid. Really, really good. And so, yeah, that's the microphone I'm using. And then it's just a phone, and we are live streaming from Restream right now. But there we go. I hope that answers your question. And if anyone's got any other questions about that, that is day 6 wrapped up. I will be back here on Monday because it's Friday now. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend and you get some sun and you don't burn. Don't do that. It's not a good idea. I'm really gutted because I wanted to take the kids to a couple of places and they're just all sold out in terms of like outdoor swimming. So I'm trying to find an alternative option. There's 8 of us here. We only have a 7-seater. That's one of the problems. So it kind of needs to be not too far away. So yeah, we might go to the river and play in that and get a blow-up boat. I've put that question to Amos this morning. I'm hoping he's going to do some deep research on blow-up boats that will arrive by tomorrow morning. We'll see. It's probably not. He's got better things to do. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, whatever you guys are up to. Lots of love. I'll speak to you soon.